guys, happy Friday and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about sex. And I know that's kind of like a funny subject to people. Some people get really nervous when they talk about it. Some people don't like to talk about it or get embarrassed. But I feel like it's a topic that people need to talk about because so many people I find get embarrassed about whether they're a virgin or not, or who they're sleeping with, or if they should do it before marriage or not, or whatever the situation. I feel like a lot of people have different views on it, which is okay, but I want to share my views. A lot of people get called sluts for having sex. Having sex does not make you a slut. It is normal for humans, especially teenagers and people in their 20s and 30s, to have sex. But these young girls in school get called sluts for sleeping with a guy when they're in like 12th, 11th, 10th grade, whatever. However old, as long as it's not like too young. But they get called a slut for sleeping with a guy and then the guy gets props for it. And I don't understand why that is okay. Especially if they're in a relationship. Like, I think that sex is a healthy part of a relationship. And so many couples do it. Some maybe do it more than others. Some maybe don't do it at all because they don't believe in having sex before marriage. And that's okay. Whatever your views on sex are, that's okay. If you want to wait, wait. If you don't, don't. It's cool. Nobody should judge you for what you want or don't want to do with your body, etc. A lot of people are ashamed if they're still a virgin and all their friends have lost their virginities. I'm guilty. I was one of those people, all my friends had lost their virginities and I'm like, okay, I'm still here, alone, by myself, nobody wants to sleep with me. Like, it's not that I was like eager to sleep with somebody, but like when your friends talk about it around you and you're just like, haven't experienced that yet, or your friends think you're not a virgin when you are, that was a huge issue in my life. All my friends totally thought I was like not a virgin, but I was. And it's kind of awkward. You don't want to be like, actually I'm not, because for some reason people think that if you're a virgin at a certain age, like, you could be labeled as a loser or, a prude, whatever. And I was one of those people. I was embarrassed. I lost my virginity on my 19th birthday. I'm not ashamed to say it. I kind of regret who I did it with, but I kind of don't at the same time. It's not that big of a deal. I don't think it's a big deal. As we grow up, people tell us that sex is a huge deal and it's something we need to prepare ourselves for, which I completely agree with. But I don't think sleeping with somebody, if you're not in a relationship with them, is a huge deal. Obviously, I think if you sleep with a new person every night, then yes, you might be a slut, or, I find a lot of people have sex for attention. Like, I found that in high school. People had sex with people and then talked about it throughout school, and that's all attention. But when you sleep with somebody and then don't really tell many people about it, I don't think that's a huge deal. You're just being intimate with somebody. Sometimes it's you're having fun. Like, it's all depends on the person. Today, I just want to tell you, if you're a virgin and you're, 19, 20, 21, whatever the age, I was 19, don't be embarrassed about it. Maybe you're waiting for the right person or waiting for the right time. I know I waited till I was ready, and I don't completely regret it. I regret the person it was with because I did not make my smartest decision, but I don't regret the whole night overall. I prepared myself. I was ready. I made sure I was ready and prepared that, and it was okay. But I feel like a lot of people are under pressure and feel like they have to do it and might not be so prepared and then might regret their first time. Like, I know a couple people who totally regret their first time because they weren't ready, they were too young, they might have been like pissed drunk and just had no sense of self-control or whatever, and then they completely regret it. But I knew I was ready. I kind of like, I don't want to say planned it for it to happen, but I was like, if it happens tonight, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's not a big deal, but I know I'm ready. I'm prepared. Like, I'm old enough now where I can take care of myself, and it was okay. So if you are older and still a virgin, don't be embarrassed about it. It's okay. Maybe you're not ready. Maybe you feel like you're waiting for the right person. Maybe you want to wait till marriage. you should never feel bad about that. You know, I think it is a big step in life to lose your virginity, but it's not a big deal. I think when you're older, it's a sign of maturity and growing, and obviously it's a natural part of life. Like, we do it. Lots of people do it to reproduce and make babies. That's completely natural, and that's a part of life. So I feel like losing our virginities, it's not that huge of a deal because we're preparing ourselves for the future. For those of us who don't wait till marriage, I don't know. For me, I feel like when I get married, I want to be prepared and have a magical night with my husband, but I don't want to be like scared or, you know, in complete pain because I've never had sex before. Like, I don't want it to hurt my first time. I want it to feel good and be romantic and just enjoy it with my new husband. But I feel like for me, I wouldn't be able to do that if I waited till marriage. Some people completely opposite. They want to wait until that moment to lose it with a special person. And that's okay too. We're all so different that way, and I think that's so cool that we all have these different feelings and different desires and different ways we prepare ourselves for the future. I do think that some people lose their virginities way too young. I think before 16, this is just in my opinion, I think before 15 is way too young. But you know, some other people might not think that's super, super young. I think it is, but to some people that might be okay. It all really just depends on the person and how comfortable and ready you feel. Don't be pressured into losing your virginity if you aren't comfortable with it. You know, I know from experience, high school parties, you know, people like pressure two people to go into a room together and do stuff. And if you're in that situation, don't fall under peer pressure. Just because, you know, everyone around you seems to be being sexually active with another person. It's totally okay to not want to be sexually active when you're in high school or, you know, with this guy or girl that you hardly know. And it's okay. Don't feel bad about it. You're not a prude. Don't suck for not having sex. You're not a loser. It's normal. Like, everyone has their own pace. Everyone's ready at a different time and mentally prepared. I feel like for me, if I wasn't ready when I lost it, I probably would be slightly messed up in my head. That's also because I have other mental issues, but I feel like for me, it would mess me up and put me in a life of regret, and I don't want to, because with it being such a big step in my life, I would not want to regret it. And you know, it is a moment that everyone's gonna have, and it might be awkward, it might be romantic, it might suck. Everyone's experiences are different. And if you're scared, yes, I am going to tell you, it hurts your first time. It sucks. Like, it's not all that glamorous as people say it is. It smells bad. It sounds horrible. It's painful. It's not a glorious thing. And I feel like so many people fantasize about having sex before they actually do it, that it's going to be all this romantic and fabulous, and, you know, it's going to be with the man of your dreams. It's not. For most people, it's not. It's painful and uncomfortable and slightly awkward, and it's a thing that happens, and unfortunately we all have to deal with it being slightly awkward. But no matter how old you are, you know, even if you're not a virgin and you have sex with somebody else for the first time, it's always going to be slightly awkward, because it's the first time this person's seeing you completely naked, you're seeing them completely naked, they're touching you in ways that you've never been touched by them before. It's always going to be slightly awkward the first time you have sex with a new person. So when you put those aspects into your first time ever, being touched that way and your body feeling things that it's never felt before, it's awkward. It might be painful for some people it might not be. It all just really depends on the person. But I just wanted to say, don't feel bad if you're still a virgin and you're, you know, my age or however old you are. Like, I feel like now the age of people losing their virginities is getting younger and younger, and I think that's kind of gross. But if you aren't comfortable, just don't do it. Don't put yourself in a situation that you're going to regret. It's better to just live life happy and be ready when you're ready. No peer pressure, just when you're ready to do it. And I feel like a lot of people, you know, can't get over the fact that everyone else around them has lost their virginities and they're still there, a virgin, and embarrassed about it. I was there, but I completely don't regret waiting till I was 19. Some people might think that's ridiculously old, some people might think that's still young, you know, whatever. I don't regret it, and that's all that matters. So, it's kind of all I want to talk about for today. If you're completely worried about losing your virginity, you know, it's not that scary, but it is painful, and it's not as glamorous as you picture it in your head. But I feel like a lot of people need to hear that because a lot of people have the wrong idea of what the first time is like. And it's not all of it's spruced up to be. So, that's all I'm going to talk about for today. If anyone has any questions about anything, just leave them down below or whatever, and I will try and answer them. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I know this video is kind of scatterbrained and kind of all over the place, but I didn't want to make it too long, and I just kind of wanted to get the point out there that everyone goes their different paces, everyone has their different times, everyone has different experiences. It's all okay. It's all normal. Do you, do whatever you're comfortable with, and don't let others peer pressure you or feel bad about yourself or whatever the situation is. So, like this video if you did like it. Leave a comment down below of other topics you would like me to talk about for future videos, and I would love to do that for you. And also make sure to hit that subscribe button because I would love to have you on my channel, and I post new videos every Friday. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next Friday.